Smile is a new horror movie that's going to be in theaters, and I got to see an early screening of it tonight. In this movie, we follow a therapist who is getting a bunch of strange patients as of late. She tackles major mental health issues, but it turns out one of them is talking about dying very soon, and she actually does commit suicide in front of her. As a result of that, there's a turn of events in her life, and she starts to see things that don't make much sense. And it seems like the clock is against her as well, and that she might be the next target. This is a movie that I don't want to say too much about. You should go into this as blindly as possible. I'll say this though, the promotion for this movie, some of it has been really, really great. Like people just standing around in places and smiling, like it's very creepy and unsettling. The teaser for this movie was also quite creepy and unsettling, but I have to say the actual trailer, not quite as much. It felt a little bit off, but I have to say that must have been an anomaly because having seen the movie, this is damn good. We are living in a blessed year for horror movies, my friends, and this movie is another one to add to that list. Another film that slowly builds its tension, but as it builds and builds, the stuff that you're seeing on screen gets crazier and crazier, and it leads to some truly creepy moments. This has some really unnerving shots, and some that are probably some of the scariest shots of the year. There are so many moments that are so well directed, and while it takes a minute to get going, when the scares start coming in, they come in full force. This movie takes some inspirations from things you may have seen before. You're gonna see a lot of comparisons to The Ring, and rightfully so. This movie does have a lot of stuff like that, but it's not The Ring. It's just there's one aspect of it that is a little bit similar in that there's a ticking clock. But aside from that, this movie does a really good job of making you feel unnerved the entire time, and the atmospheric elements of it are wonderfully done. And as far as the performances go, I think everyone is really, really good. Our lead character, the one who we're following, Rose, she's fantastic. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the actress's name at this time, but she does a really, really great job, and you're constantly worried about Rose the entire movie and wondering what's going to happen with her. And as she starts to see stuff that's happening around her and the effects of that, some of them genuinely quite disturbing, it's remarkably done. And also everybody else in the movie who we get to see was also really good. The girl who we see who starts off this entire thing, she's damn good too in the scene that she has. I mean, she definitely leaves a lasting nightmarish impact on you. There's also a visceral musical score to this movie and sound design. Like, we saw this in a standard theater, but I have to imagine this sounds pretty crazy on like Dolby Cinema or something like that, because the way speakers were used in the auditorium, like especially with the score and all that, it's so shrill and loud at times, but it's almost jarringly and horrifyingly so. It's not like you can't hear anything. It's not like that kind of thing, but it's just, it comes at you with full force, and it's a great use of that technical aspect that it has, along with the fact that it is beautifully shot as well, and the way it's constructed, like I already said, is really well done. It's an element that does keep you locked in. There's some jump scares for sure, and you know, when it comes to jump scares, it can be a bit of a dice roll. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I would say they work for the most part over here. There's a couple of them where I was like, okay, knew that was going to happen. But then there are times where it is used very effectively, and they're also used in a slow build kind of way. Like scenes get a chance to breathe and play out properly before coming to something like that. It's not like every single thing is like whoosh, whoosh, you know, nothing like that. It's a film that understands when to activate the scare, and it does so very effectively. There are some moments where you can kind of see where a scene is gonna go, but I have to say there is a situation in this movie at one point where I knew what was gonna happen, and I'm almost glad that that thing happened, because I kept thinking about it. I said, you know what, there's an opportunity here to do something, and if you don't do it right now, then I feel like it's going to be a missed opportunity, and it's going to go against what the movie can be. And then it did that thing, and I was actually like, you know, that's good. I kind of expected that to happen, but I'm glad it did. It's one moment in the movie. I think you'll know which one it is when you get to it, but it's well handled. And I do respect the fact that it makes those creative calls. Like I said, it takes a minute to get going. Sometimes there are some moments which could have been a little more effective at times, but overall, watching Smile, I was very happy with it, and I think it's another damn good horror movie to add to the list of growing horror movies this year that are just continuously hitting it out of the park. We live in a blessed age, and there's still more to come. Halloween Ends is around the corner. I mean, so much great stuff at the moment right now, and it's a great time to be a fan of the genre. So definitely go check out Smile if you get a chance to see it in theaters. It's going to be out this weekend. I'm going to give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more reviews very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.